Hey guys, what's up? It's Crowd9 here, and I want to make a video to tell you guys about how I learned about MapleStory back in the day. Because a lot of you in my streams always tend to ask, yo, Crowd9, how did you figure out MapleStory existed in the world? And I would always be like, people. So, what exactly happened, and how did I get introduced to this 2D MMORPG that has spawned a revolution? Not really a revolution, more like a... people getting addicted to the game, like crack and heroin. Yeah. Anyways, so I learned about MapleStory back in, I believe it was 6th grade. It was either 5th or 6th, it was one of those two. And I was in computer lab, so this was like 2004, 2005, between that year, I guess. So it might have been early 2005, because I remember starting in 2005, actually. I had interest in the beta at one point, but I didn't know what the game was, so I didn't really care too much about it. But I basically knew about the beta, but I forgot the game existed like a month later. So, because back then it was mostly Flash games for me, I never really cared about I didn't know what the hell an MMO was. I didn't think that was a possibility in the world, because back then, to be fair, 2005 computers were still pretty, like, they were still pretty damn basic. We had Windows XP back in the day. So, yeah, it wasn't like something that was really something that I understood. So, anyway, started the game, saw a guy in computer class going through hiddenstreet.net, and he was like looking through the monster list. And I saw slimes and mushrooms, and I'm like, wow, that looks pretty cool. What game is this? You know, thinking it was a console game at the time. Because the GameCube was out. There weren't a lot of 2D games, so I thought maybe they made a 2D game on the GameCube. That would have been pretty cool. And I found out, no, this is a game that you can play online for free. And I was like, that's really weird. Made an account that same night, played the game, met these really cool people on day one. Maple Island still had people. Day one, met people, became friends with them, made awesome friends, made friends that I wish I still had. You know, I met a lot of cool people back then, because it was almost like a social media platform like these days. It was almost like the Instagram of the MMO world. It was really cool. You got to meet people, and yeah, that's kind of how it started, where I just met it, saw a guy played, and saw a guy in Monster List, and blah, 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 blah. Saw a guy playing the Monster List, looking at the Monster List, I mean, and I was like, I'm interested in this game again. Let's look at it. And I played it, and I remember the first day so vividly too, because I was gonna be like, I'm gonna be a two-handed warrior, because I love swords, giant ass swords. And then I was like, I use mana. I must need int, because mana means magic points. Because I didn't think back in the day that MP stand for mana points. I thought it stood for magic points or some shit. And I ended up putting int and dex and luck on my warrior, and it was crazy. And oh my god, back in 2005 you needed dex as a warrior and as an assassin and all that, because you needed to hit monsters. Because back then it was about accuracy. It wasn't about your level or anything like that. I mean, that played a part, but it was mostly about what your accuracy was. Something I wish MapleStory went back to, because that was a cool mechanic. That's not something that is in a lot of MMOs these days. Anyways, I remember getting strength, 100% dex, whatever. Oh, this is what kills me the most, because I remember this so vividly too, is that I remember the original warrior, when you made a swordsman, the list, your skill list. So it was like recovering HP while on ladders, recovering HP while, you know, standing still. And there was one where the character, the icon looked as if the guy was sitting, right? So in my mind, I'm thinking, this must mean recover HP while you're sitting. I don't need this shit. In reality, that skill was your max HP. So increase your max HP. So I was a level 100 warrior 2 years later with like 3000 HP while everyone else was at 8000. And I'm just like, how the hell do you guys have so much HP? Where did I go wrong on this shit? And I was basically playing on the worst handicap in the world. I kept dying a lot, you know, not so often as I would like to say, but I went through potions like crazy because I didn't understand that one skill. You have to also take into consideration I was a really young kid back then. And MMOs were still new, skill systems were still new to me, so that was really like weird. I should have read, I didn't. I looked at the picture and I'm like, this picture has nothing to do with what I need. Oh man. But yeah, I guess that's kind of my introduction to MapleStory for the most part, about how I just started. I just saw some guy playing it in class, well, looking at a monster list, and I'm like, this game is cool. Went home, downloaded it, played it, got to like level 7, and I was like, oh shit, this is taking forever, I'm gonna go to bed. Woke up the next day before school, got 2 levels, and then yeah. And I might make a small little series about talking about my nostalgia. I know I have a Nostalgia's Life, which isn't too old. The Pirate's Life is from 2008, and then Dual Blade's Life Nostalgia is like 2010. So maybe I'll make one of like my memories between 2005 and 2008. And yeah, so that'd be pretty cool, because I have a lot of memories and I have a lot of screenshots from 2007, 2006. So maybe I'll post a few. Maybe talk about the Zakun runs we had back in the day and everything, and that'd be pretty cool. So, the worst part about this entire series is I have to go on MapleStory and actually record footage about the game. God damn it. So, thanks for watching, guys. I would love to hear what your first experiences in MapleStory or any MMO you ever played, whether it was RuneScape or something else. No, Neopets I don't think counts as an MMO, because if that's the case, that was my first. But again, if you want to, leave a comment in below in the comment section, and I will read them and reply, and we will conversate. Alright, later.